till 4 o'clock this afternoon.
59th Avenue.
59th Avenue, thank you. Not Street, Avenue. All right, let's don't waste any time. It is time for our Campus Quickies. Let's go to ASU. That means Hod Rabino, Devil's Digest, is our guest. You can find him on X at Devil's Digest. Hod, welcome, pal, as always. So let's dive into ASU baseball. They didn't close well during the regular season, but they did hear their name called, and it's the first time that they are back in the tournament now in 3 years.
Yeah, and first time I was also under skipper Willie Bloomquist. Definitely some white-knuckle moments in Tempe when the selection show was taking place on Monday. ASU was officially one of the last 4 teams in. But I think that overall, even though they ended the season with a 4-game skid, I think that the committee did appreciate their body of work in basically for most of the season. So I think if you're ASU, maybe you're just coming in with a chip on your shoulder, wanting to prove that what happened the last 4 games was definitely an aberration. But you also got to think that they're coming really with not that much pressure, because I don't think anybody out there is thinking they're the favorite to win what's a pretty tough Los Angeles regional, with UCLA being the host.
Hod, what has been the culprit, or I should say the main reason why this ASU program is finally getting back? Jimmy talked about, even though they had the 4-game skid, you go and get a guy named Landon Harrison, who's Scott Harrison's son, Jerry Harrison Jr.'s nephew. Those kind of quality athletes have not been a part of this program. How is Willie Bloomquist convincing them to come to ASU?
Yeah, look, I think when you look at just the greater Phoenix area being one of the most desired places to live in the entire country, in terms of facilities, I think that ASU is able to stack very, very well with the power conferences out there. So I think those are some things that really do go in ASU's favor. And look, even though it's been a while since ASU has won a World Series or has even been to Omaha, I think it's still a program that does have a storied past. You got ASU alums like Barry Bonds, like Reggie Jackson, like Dustin Pedroia. So I think those are some of the factors that really caused Willie Bloomquist to attract a lot of good talent. The question is, what do you do once the talent is here? And I think this season was way too much of a roller coaster. And I think Willie Bloomquist and his staff are honest enough to look themselves in the mirror to know that they didn't do a great job coaching for the entire season. But again, now they are in the NCAA tournament. This is a huge chance for redemption and to show that this is an ASU team that resembles more the team that won 10 of the last 12 games before they had this 4-game skid. And by the way, during that period, 5 of those 10 wins were run rule victories, games that did not even go the whole 9 innings because ASU's bats were hotter than, a Tempe sidewalk in July. So I think that if that ASU team shows up, maybe they can, make some serious noise in this regional. But I think that's like all ASU fans out there. You're wondering which Sun Devil team is the one that's going to show up. Is it the team that was red hot before this 4-game skid? Or maybe it is still the team that is really backing into the NCAA tournament and not coming with a lot of momentum, if any, at all.
I'm sure you're following the Big 12 spring meetings that are happening this week.
Let's go GCU next.
A lot of discussion is happening in reference to maybe Big 12 expansion, UNLV, San Diego State, maybe some of the other teams. How much will that benefit if they can get those West Coast presence with San Diego State and or UNLV?
I think it really could help with travel. I mean, look, when it comes to a football team, sure, you rather not travel 2-3 time zones away that often in the season, but ultimately that may amount to just maybe 3 trips all year long. But when you talk about the Olympic sports, we're talking about baseball, for example. We talk about softball. We talk about other sports. To have that grueling travel to the Midwest and then to the East Coast happening at a pretty high frequency, that really takes a toll financially. I think it also takes a toll on the team as well. So if you're going to add more West Coast teams, maybe you can get into that pod system that I know that was talked about not only in the Big 12, but I think in other conferences as well, So now ASU is not playing West Virginia or Central Florida that often, but in turn is playing teams, like you said, UNLV and San Diego State, if they were to join the conference more often. I think that's really easy on everybody everybody involved. So I think that this is a type of expansion that if you're a West Coast team like Arizona State, you would definitely welcome with open arms.
Always good, Hod, when we catch up with you. Have a great day, pal.
Thank you, guys.
There you go, Hod Rabino, Devil's Digest. All right, let's go now to GCU. And Paul Coro, Lopes Insider for Grand Canyon University. You can find him on X at Paul Coro. All right, here we go, Paul. I want to know how Gonzaga was able to swoop in and swipe a player that a lot of folks thought he was going to be playing there again this coming season. Explain.
I don't know if I can fully explain it. There's certainly still some compliance things that would need to be taken care of. He was in the transfer portal. I mean, you think about a year ago this time, we're talking about Tyon Grant-Foster, I assume. He was, going into the draft combine and working out for teams and stuff. And, it seemed like it was more of a pro future for him. And then he ended up making the decision to come back to kind of enhance his future. And so, this is a curious time in college athletics where guys are weighing the value of staying in college another year versus a pro career. And he has the extra layer of just a very different past, having been in junior college and having missed almost 2 full seasons because of his heart issues. So there's a lot of questions there, and we'll see how it comes out.
Okay, because he was in the portal, did he give you guys any indication that he was just going to snoop around, but he still wanted to stay with the Lopes, or did he make it pretty clear that he was going to exit?
I wasn't really privy to any of that, to be honest, about what his intentions were, but it was pretty clear that Bryce Drew knew he had to move on with his roster, and you can kind of see that with what they did and what they went out and got and secured, and to be the only mid-major in the top 50 of the nation for transfer portal classes. They were pretty aggressive and successful in that realm, and to move on to the next stage. And last year, the Grant-Foster thing kind of came late, and it changed some things, some dynamics, because they didn't really have a plan at that time. They thought he was going pro, and certainly welcomed back, but it made it wasn't part of the original summer plan, and they were pretty deep into the summer when that came up.
Paul, a couple questions here for you in the same vernacular. Number one, was he looking to give them a first right of refusal, i.e. comes back with the offer, or were you guys looking to move on no matter what?
Yeah,
Glenn's ready for you whenever you are.
Those are conversations that would have been just between them. And but I would just say, look, from looking for the outside, Grant-Foster put himself in the portal, and Bryce Drew went into that portal to form the next roster, and there wasn't really a hole sitting there waiting. They filled it up.
Okay, all right, Paul. Have a great day. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That's Paul Coro, everybody, from GCU. Now let's head to Tucson. That means that Glenn Howell, who is the host of the pre, halftime, and postgame on the Football Network, is indeed our guest. Welcome, as always, Glenn. Before we get into some of the Big 12 stuff, set us up for University of Arizona baseball. Great victory to win the Big 12 Conference baseball title.
How about that? That was just an amazing job that the baseball team did. I mean, just think of that. These guys, they did a miracle job last year winning the Pac-12, and they come back and win the Big 12. Got some really good players that are really just interested in winning, man. I mean, just interested in winning. These guys are just done a great job. And Chip Hale, you got to give him credit for just putting this team together and then rallying them and getting them to go for this, for this tournament. And they just did a great job. Just a little disappointed we didn't get a regional, though. That was just sad that we didn't get one.
And Glenn, talk about in reference to Chip Hale resurrecting this U of A baseball program for many, many years, Arizona State, U of A, and GC, all three of you. But what he's done to come in, the former alumnus, former major league manager, comes down to Tucson and gets them back on track. How has he done that?
I just think that he's had some good recruiting, and he takes a couple of our local guys here, and they've done very well. And he's just a good, I think Chip's a good guy. I've known Chip for a long time. He was there when I was at U of A, and he knew, I just knew him from even in high school, when he was in high school up in Northern California. So he's just a good baseball guy, and he's got good people around him. And I think that's what his secret sauce is.
From the Big 12 meetings that are going to take place, there's some talk about trying to expand also more into the Western time zones. Also, the SEC and Big Ten are making a lot of noise about trying once again to rig the playoff system. Your response first on what the SEC and Big Ten are trying to do, and then secondly, about possible expansion on the Big 12.
Well, listen, I don't know if a lot of us are going to make the cut on the next league that they have. The Big 12 is trying to expand. I don't know where they're expanding to, if they're going to expand. Because the next cut, I think it's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC, and then they're going to invite some people. And I don't think that me personally, I don't think that Arizona or
Clear to rep
is going to make that cut. So I just don't think that it's evolving right now that, they're just going to cut out a lot of these teams, and college sports is going to change in the next 2 to 5 years. I think it's going to be something that we have never expected to see.
Always good, pal, when we catch up with you. Thank you again for your time. Have a great day.
All right. We'll see you.
There goes Glenn Howell, everybody. You can follow him on X at Glenn P. Howell. And all of our Campus Quickies presented today by All City Towing, largest towing company in the state, a place where your career can get a serious boost. And why do I say that? Because they are looking for someone like you. They are hiring call takers, lot attendants, drivers, customer service professionals, and you get benefits like this: top-tier towing equipment, health benefits, a 401k with an employer match, paid life insurance, even a monthly fuel allowance, and you are paid well for your work. Does it sound good? Yes, because it is good. It is allcitytowing.com and search careers. Once again, go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Coming up, it's our AC experts. Who's hot? Who's not? Player of the week, and scorching right now with an incredible triple-double and 0 turnovers, Tyrese Halliburton. He was on another level last